Heather, good morning. Where are we?
We're in Cluny.
And what's interesting about Cluny?
So there's a huge abbey in Cluny, a Benedictine monastery.
Benedictine monastery. Okay, cool. So we're just about to go in. This is the Portail de Ville of Cluny, and these are the grounds of the monastery, and we're going to have a little wander around today. So in the ground around the abbey, there's these little plates in the ground which tell you which direction to go. Quite useful.
Nosotros estamos, ¿veis ese punto amarillo? ¿Vale? Nosotros estamos ahí ahora mismo, en estas escaleras, que supongo que es un momento. Esto seguramente lo han hecho simplemente para explicar la maqueta, porque desde aquí tenemos una perspectiva completa de todo lo que es la... Pues ahora mismo, aquí habría dos torres enormes.
So I think each time they built a church, they gave it a number, but the Cluny 3 was the church built by St. Hugh, which was when Cluny was at its height of its dominance of the whole of the Benedictine order in France.
And what period are we talking? 13th, 14th
11th
century? 11th century, something like that? Okay. So each time people come along and destroyed it, they got rebuilt or new improvements. So these are the inside the church. They would have been going up to the ceiling, holding the ceiling up?
Yes. Well, this would have been the internal wall that held the flying, because the flying buttresses would go to the external wall, wouldn't they?
Right. Grounds of the Abbey. There's also a college here, a university, I think, and we've seen students in their uniforms. And each school, each department seems to have its own uniform, lab coats almost, and they have different designs and pictures and writing, and they make their coats unique to each student and each department. And these are memorials to the students and staff of the school who died for France in the First War, the Great War, 1418, and the Second World War, 39-45. Before that, so the years they were here studying. Bonjour. The Passage of Galilee, I think it's called. And there's the Abbey there. Hugely impressive. So the Maior Ecclesia, the name given to the largest abbey church at Cluny, built between the 11th and 12th centuries. Apparently it's the monumental expression of the power of the Cluny order at its height. It remained the largest church in Christendom until St. Peter's in Rome was built in the 16th century. However, it was almost completely destroyed at the beginning of the 19th century. South arms of the large and the small transepts are the most notable remains that survive today. This is what we're looking at here. Oh, the cloister. Oh, like a good cloister. There we go. It's like you might know of the term a quad, you know, a square, a covered square. In the cloister here, it's like a walkway, but the monks aren't able to speak while they're in them. They must keep their silence. And in the cloister, they use sign language to communicate with each other. It's the Passage of Galilee, I think it's called. And there's the abbey there. Hugely impressive. So in this hall here, we have examples of reliquaries. Reliquaries are often fashioned from precious metals, gold and silver, and they're very ornate, and they keep the mementos of the saints. Pieces of bone, pieces of cloth, pieces of their clothing, fragments of their hair, the thorn from the crown of thorns worn by Christ, for example. These are all examples of relics, and they're kept in reliquaries such as these. Now, because they're precious metals, at times of war or famine or poverty, you know, they can be melted down and reused, melted into coins. And this is what happened several times. Then when there's an era of bounty again, they're remade. So here we have a reliquary of St. Odin, and this one here is a relic of St. Blaise. I think that's St. Peter and St. Gerard. This is the Richelieu Door, 17th century. So these items here represent the artistic endeavours throughout from the 10th to the 18th century. You know, this idea that there was a Dark Ages, it's nonsense. You know, it's, wonder where the idea that before the Renaissance there was no culture, art, science, endeavour, you know.
La partie d'argilance du portail est de l'imprimerie. À l'extrême gauche du bloc appartient sans doute la tête d'un soldat endormi, coiffé de casque et revêtu d'une cotte de maille. Le visage de Cluny.
This is what's left of the archway above the main door of the church. I think it was destroyed during the French Revolution. And they found bits of it, and it's just like a big jigsaw puzzle trying to put some of the bits back together again. There's a video here on the front describing these different pieces.
Au sommet se tiennent 4 grandes figures de saints. Parmi eux Saint-Pierre, reconnaissable.
So in the little Archaeological Museum of Cluny Abbey, and Neolithic and Bronze era, which in bracelets and jewellery and keys and pottery, little olive oil lamps. Over here, so spearheads, axe heads, chains. What era is this? Yeah. Roman era. Very interesting. Iron Age. Bracelets there. Here we have Bronze Age and Neolithic axe heads, stone axe heads. And these ones are 3rd century, 2300, 1800 years BC.
If you like this video, please click like, then comment, share and subscribe.